Hello, everyone, and welcome to movie flashback number 16. In this flashback, we are going behind the scenes of The Terminator. If you are new to this channel, welcome. Click the subscribe button below for future notifications and updates. Click the like button to share this content with other movie fans. It just occurred to me while I was working on movie flashback number 16 that last movie flashback was actually number 15, but I mistook it for movie flashback 14. I can't believe time is flying by so fast that I'm getting my numbers mixed up. So Seven Brides for Seven Brothers was movie flashback number 15. Oh my lord. I'm what. Wow. Okay. So we're now up to 16. This is incredible. Once you know it, I'm up to movie flashback 20, and I gotta figure out another 10 movie flashbacks for 2025. Like time is flying by so fast. It's just incredible. If you are new to Nightglow Entertainment, you're probably wondering what is a movie flashback. In filmmaking, a flashback is a scene in a movie set in a time earlier than the main story. In film criticism, there are two types of critiques. First, you have a movie review in which critics review movies that recently came out and they tell you what they thought of the movie. The second type is academic criticism, in which you take a class at a college or university in film history and watch movies of historical significance. The movie flashback here at Nightglow takes film history out of the class, and together we go down memory lane talking about films we love. This gives me a chance to go back in time and talk about movies that may be in my collection or in your collection. The Terminator is not in my collection, but in case it is in your collection, do let me know in the comment box below. All right, so this year we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of The Terminator. It was written and directed by James Cameron, one of my favorite directors. It stars Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator, Michael Ben, Linda Hamilton, and Paul Winfield. It was released in theaters on October 26, 1984, and the running time is a mean 1 hour 47 minutes. And I wanted to do a flashback for this movie because it started one of the greatest movie franchises. I don't know if there was ever a documentary made about this particular movie. If you know of any, please share in the comment box below so that I can check it out. Thanks in advance. So, the film tells the story of a humanoid assassin robot named T-800, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is from the future, 2029, and he goes back in time to 1984 to kill Sarah Connor, played by Hamilton, who is the mother of John Connor, who is supposed to fulfill a prophecy that he will save mankind from extinction by Skynet, an artificial intelligence network. Back in 1982, during the release of James Cameron's film Piranha 2, on a trip to Rome, Cameron got sick and had a dream about a robot holding kitchen knives dragging itself from an explosion. So he decided to take the idea and write a horror film. He returned to California and stayed at the home of sci-fi writer Randolph Frakes, and he wrote the first draft of The Terminator. Cameron then sold the rights to producer Gail Ann Hurd for $1, under a stipulation that she would produce the film only if he directs the film. Next, Cameron and Hurd was able to secure a deal. The original budget was $4 million, but it was increased to $6.5 million. Another interesting part of this story is how fast the film production process was moving along. From the time James Cameron had the dream of the robot to the theatrical release of the movie was a period of 2 years. Now, you hear the stories of movies taking decades to make, and I always wondered why. However, this project started off as a low budget sci fi action film that the film company didn't have much confidence in. Once the finance was secure, it was time to find actors to play the Terminator, Sarah Connor, and the male protagonist, Sergeant Kyle Reese. The head of Orion Studios, Mike Medavoy, or Medavoy, suggested that Arnold Schwarzenegger play Kyle Reese. At the time, Arnold was working on the film Conan the Destroyer, but James Cameron wanted someone more famous at the time, so he tried to avoid casting Arnold. Some of the actors considered for the part were Christopher Reeve, our Superman back in the day, Matt Dillon, Kurt Russell, Tommy Lee Jones, and even Bruce Springsteen, which is a name I did not expect would come up because he's a singer. But in the end, Cameron chose Michael Benn, who was in Taxi Driver. The role of the Terminator was offered to Sylvester Stallone and Mel Gibson. They both turned it down. Mike suggested O.J. Simpson, but at the time, James said no because he thought Simpson would not be believable as a killer. Yeah, we are really going back to 1983, folks. Woo! Mm-mm-mm. So James and Arnold met to talk about playing the Terminator, even though James was trying to avoid casting him. Still, however, he was entertained by Schwarzenegger and decided he would be a better fit to play the Terminator instead of playing Kyle Reese. During the shooting, Arnold and the studio saw the film as just a low-budget B movie. Furthermore, he thought he would play a character that is different from the character of Conan, and if it didn't do well at the box office, he figured he did not have to worry about it ruining his acting career. However, when Arnold watched the first 20 minutes of the first edit, he realized the movie could be bigger than what anyone expected. So, principal photography started in March 1984 in Los Angeles, and most of the film was shot at night. Therefore, the shooting schedule was very tight because they had to end the night shift right before sunrise. Another issue was before filming started, Linda Hamilton sprained her ankle. So during the shoot, her ankle was taped up every day, and she spent most of the production phase in pain. Yikes. Then there was the last shot of the movie where Sarah is driving down a highway. That scene was filmed without a permit. Cameron and Hurd had to convince a police officer who saw the film shoot that they were making a student film for UCLA. What a story. Okay, so The Terminator turned out to be a surprise hit. Everyone except James Cameron underestimated this film with a $6.5 million budget. And this part ain't funny. The film grossed approximately $78 million at the box office. And this was the film that changed the careers of James Cameron and Arnold Schwarzenegger. There were mixed reviews. Some liked the film, some critics did not. But overall, the fans loved it because of the original storytelling and Arnold's performance as T-800. According to Rotten Tomatoes, quote, with its impressive action sequences, taut economic direction, and relentlessly fast pace, it's clear why the Terminator continues to be an influence on sci-fi and action flicks. End quote. The Terminator is considered to be one of the greatest on-screen villains of all time. Arnold's line, "I'll be right back," became a catchphrase and one of the most famous movie quotes of all time. And in 2008, The film was selected for preservation by the Library of Congress National Film Registry because the film is deemed to be culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. Since 2008, many film historians have described this film as original, scary. One critic wrote, quote, "one of the most iconic pieces of pop culture ever created," end quote. Another film critic wrote, and I quote, "Cameron's well-structured script is pure polish with zero fat and a surplus of riveting tension that helps make it the timeless classic that it is today," end quote. And on that note, I propose a toast to the 40th anniversary of The Terminator. Cheers. That is all for today, my friends. I will be right back with more movie flashbacks and more movie reviews. Take care.